So it's that time of year when I'm getting ready to plant some seeds where I'll have transplants to move into the garden once the weather's warm. Right now it's too cold for me to be doing this in the greenhouse. Actually, it was 75 degrees last Saturday, and this coming Saturday it's supposed to get down to 24, so that tells me I'll be starting these seeds indoors. I'm trying to use things that everybody would have easy access to. This is just a bucket I bought at a yard sale. I've got a litter pan from Dollar General store. This is to throw the mulch scraps into. Now, to some people, they'd say, well, this is a fryer insert. To me, for years now, it's been a soil sifter. What I do is I take the soil and I put in here and shake it. This gets out the big chunks that you can't use for planting seeds, but they will be used as mulch in the garden. So nothing around here goes to waste if I can help it. But this will be my first step in prepping my containers for planting my seeds. The soil is some that I bought at Dollar General store. It's Scott's Professional Potting Mix. That's why it does have the mulch pieces in it. It is not a seed starting mix. I found that the potting mixes work just fine for me. If I'm doing a huge number of things, then I'll buy a huge bag of potting soil. But in this case, I'm just getting a good start for the spring. Anyway, this is how we start out with sifting the soil, and I will continue on with this. I know it's not very exciting to watch a cubic foot of soil being sifted. So I have my soil sifted here, and I pre-moistened it, just put some water on it, let it sit for about 20 minutes. You always want to pre-moisten your soil before you put it in your cups. I like using these clear 6-compartment cups. I get these from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And what you want to do is just fill your cups. And this is where I get to get my hands in the dirt and feel the gardening experience. I do a lot of times wear disposable gloves, but the thing is, once the pandemic came about, the disposable gloves went about 10 times what I've been paying for them for years. So today I'm just going to get my fingers dirty. And I'm just going to lightly pack it in here. You don't want to pack it down really tight because you want to be able to let the roots grow. But I'll be filling those up, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. Bear with me just one moment. I should have gotten these over there. These 6-cell planters fit inside this, and they've got a top that goes on them. It's like a mini greenhouse. I really like these small ones like this. Again, I purchased from Amazon, and I've purchased enough to get me going for the spring and get my garden growing. Okay, I now have my 6-cell trays filled up. I have done 12 so far. I know I'll be doing more throughout the season, but they are filled with the moistened soil, and it's time for me to go get some seeds and get some seeds in these. I do have to go to my stash of seeds. I have seeds that go back as far as 2017. This is 2022. And yet I know a lot of those 2017 seeds will still sprout. It is best if you get fresh seeds, but I found if you store them properly, you can store them from one year to another. I also have a lot of seeds that I have seeds saved from my garden, a lot of heirloom tomato seeds, so we'll be growing the same tomatoes this year as we grew last year. So today I'm planting tomatoes and peppers. I have a wide variety of tomato and pepper seeds. You'll see I filled all the cups with soil, and before planting I take tags. I put what kind of seed it is and the date. Today is 3/9. I lay them on top, and then once the cells are planted, I'll go ahead and stick the tags in like this. It's very important to label what you're doing. I also find that just putting the date on the tag helps tremendously instead of having to go back through my garden journal and figure out what I planted when. But you can see here I have 8 kinds of tomatoes, and had I not included tags with them, I wouldn't know what they are. I also have 4 types of peppers. I have a new one that I'm trying and we'll do a review on later according to how it grows in the garden. My most successful is always the sweet banana pepper. I have in the past gotten some seeds that were supposed to be sweet, and it turned out they were far from sweet. They were hot bananas. You won't see those planted here. So I've planted all my seeds. I'm putting them in their individual little greenhouses. After planting, I covered lightly with soil and then watered with a spray bottle so as not to disturb the soil. Each one of the cells has approximately 3 seeds in it, so there will be multiple plants that come up. I'm not one to follow instructions. Once those multiple plants come up, a lot of times I will take like 3 plants out of one cell and put in 3 individual pots so that I'll have 3 tomato or 3 pepper plants. A note on these tags, which are kind of wet right now, these are a plastic tag that I bought. I found that rather than trying to save something else and do a tag and lose the name, these are the best. The pencil that I use is actually a China marker, and it's just a black marker. We used these years ago for gardening. The advantage this has is it won't rub off, it won't fade in the sun. So in the fall, when I have these in the ground, these tags, they will still have the name and date on them. It's a great way to make sure that you don't lose track of what you've planted. Okay, so I have my first 12 kinds of seeds planted for my garden. Using these mini greenhouses, what I'm going to be doing is I'll start with the holes closed until the seeds get a start, and then I will monitor whether I need to open the vents or close the vents. Some of these seed starters, the little seed plant trays, mini greenhouses, whatever you want to call them, are ones that I used last year. I found that they're very sturdy, and if you clean them up when you're done using them and store them properly, they're ready for another year's use. I'm looking forward to showing you the progress on this. I'm not going to do repeated videos where all it is videos of dirt, but once the seeds start coming up, I'll be happy to show them to you and share my experience. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's not super detailed. There are so many videos on YouTube that are very detailed in how deep you should plant each kind of seed and what kind of potting soil you should use. My idea is for you to use what would be easily available to you and to get started. If you just sit around watching YouTube, you won't get your garden started. Eating whole food, plant-based, I do go sometimes a little bit overboard on planting vegetables, but I'll tell you, once these seedlings come up and I have them transplanted into my 4-inch pots, then I will be sharing them with a friend who is in the process of, this year she's going to get to build her home with the help of her husband's hard work. And she won't be having much time, and she doesn't have the space for starting transplanting plants. So I'll be sharing my bedding plants with her, and that will help her to get her garden going. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell, then you'll get notifications of when I do new videos. Hope y'all have a blessed day. If you love gardening, you're probably addicted to buying seeds like I am. Now people ask where I get my seeds. I have bought from Ohio Heirloom Seeds. This is where some of my tomato plants and most all my lettuces come from. I've bought from Haas. They have a great YouTube channel. I have some seeds from friends. And from My Gardener. I have some that I bought off of Etsy. These burpee tomato seeds and these chili poblano seeds, excuse me. They came from a yard sale. And there were a whole bunch of seeds. I think somebody had decided they were going to plant a victory garden when COVID hit, and then they decided they weren't that much into gardening, and for whatever reason they ended up in a church yard sale, and I bought hundreds of packages and shared them with friends. These are ones that I've saved from last year. You'll see, like Roma tomato from Rodriguez. It's from Rodriguez Produce up on Dayton Mountain near Pikeville, Tennessee. And then I try to label exactly where they came from. These are from a green pepper, bell pepper, that I saved the seeds on 8/20/21. These are from Hughes Produce. I don't know whether they're a big boy or better boy. They are probably a hybrid tomato, and I may have a totally strange tomato come back this year. I also have some pink lady tomatoes and black vernissage. These are some that I saved the seeds back in September of 2020. So you see, I just make sure that I label each kind of seed that I save. I do soak the seeds to get the, I call it slime, off of the tomato seeds. And then I dry them on a paper towel. And then when they're totally dry, I put them in these invitation size envelopes. If you flip the envelope over, you'll see on the back, this is painter's tape. And that's so that I can open up the envelope and close it and open it up again without damaging the envelope, and it will hold the seeds in great. Anyway, this pretty much covers where I get my seeds from. I do have quite a few that I've purchased at the Dollar Tree for $1, and at the Dollar General store. Another place that I purchase a lot from, but I don't have in this particular batch of planting, is Johnny's Seeds. And I found that Johnny's and My Gardener, Haas Seeds, and Ohio Heirloom, they're all great places to get seeds. They have a very high germination rate.